Episode 4, 13-Year Echo. Waking up from cryo is like drowning in reverse. First comes the cold. Not the absence of heat, but cold as a physical presence, something with weight and texture, pressing down on every cell in your body. It's inside you, turning your blood to slush, your muscles to frozen meat, your thoughts to fractured ice. Then comes the pain. My body convulses. Every nerve ending screams at once, a symphony of agony that has no crescendo because it's all peak, all maximum, all the time. I try to scream, but my lungs are full of cryofluid, thick and chemical tasting, choking me. Hands grab me, pull me from the chamber. I'm on a floor, cold metal against my face. Someone is shouting orders, but the words are just noise, meaningless syllables in a language I should know but don't. I vomit cryofluid. It comes out in thick, ropey strands, burning my throat. My body heaves again and again, trying to purge itself of the chemicals that kept me preserved, kept me dead but not dead, stored like corporate property in a warehouse I can't remember entering. He's crashing. Hit him with the stabilizer. The needle punches into my neck. Whatever they inject fights with the cryo-sickness, two chemical cocktails battling for control of my nervous system. My body is the battlefield, and I'm losing. Time skips. I'm on a medical table now. Bright lights overhead, too bright, stabbing to eyes that haven't seen light in how long? The memories of fragments, broken glass scattered across a floor I can't see clearly. Vital signs stabilizing. Neural activity is erratic, but within acceptable parameters. What about the chip? Still active. Whatever they did to suppress it didn't take. It's fully integrated with his neural architecture now. The black chip. I remember that. A parasite in my skull, hungry for violence, carrying memories that aren't mine. Or are they mine? I can't tell anymore. 13 years on ice. The number comes from somewhere, floats up through the chemical haze. 13 years and my memories are shuffled like a deck of cards thrown in the air. Can we remove it? Not without killing him. It's too deep now. Wrapped around his brainstem, merged with his augment suite. He's more chip than man at this point. I try to speak. My mouth opens, but only a croak comes out. The effort exhausts me. He's trying to communicate. Give him another dose. Another injection. This one is warm, spreading through my veins like liquid sunlight. The pain recedes to manageable levels. My vision clears enough to see the figures standing over me. Not AstroTech. Wrong uniforms, wrong equipment, private medical facility, judging by the lack of corporate branding, underground, probably, the kind of place you take assets you're not supposed to have. Who? My voice is sandpaper on concrete. Who are you? Questions later. The speaker is a woman, mid-40s, face like carved stone. Right now, you need to focus on not dying. Your body has been in suspended animation for 13 years. The cryo-sickness alone should have killed you. The fact that you're conscious means that chip in your head is doing something to keep you alive. 13 years. The number should mean something. Should trigger memories, emotions, context. Instead, it's just a fact, floating in the void where my past used to be. Why? Another coughing fit. More fluid in my lungs. Why wake me? Because someone paid very good money to retrieve you from corporate storage. And because you have skills we need. She leans closer. Her eyes are grey, cold, calculating. Your name is Zyl Koban. You were an elite AstroTech operative before they betrayed you and put you on ice. Does any of that sound familiar? Zyl Koban. The name fits like an old jacket, worn and comfortable, but not quite right anymore. I know it's mine, but it feels like it belongs to someone else. Someone I used to be. Fragments, I manage. I remember fragments. That's the cryo-sickness. Your neural pathways are scrambled. Memories are there, but access is corrupted. It'll come back slowly, assuming your brain doesn't hemorrhage first. She straightens up. We're going to keep you here for 72 hours. Get you stabilized, get some nutrition in you, let your body remember how to function. After that, you work off your debt. Debt? Retrieving you from AstroTech storage wasn't cheap. Between bribes, equipment, and personnel, we're in for about 2 million credits. You're going to earn that back, one contract at a time. I want to laugh, but my lungs won't cooperate. 13 years on ice, and I wake up already owing money. That's the corporate world for you. Even death is just an accounting problem. And if I refuse... Her smile is thin, humorless. Then we put you back in the cryo chamber and sell you to whoever bids highest. AstroTech would probably pay triple what we spent just to put you back on ice. Your choice. It's not really a choice. It's survival by contract, same as it always was. The only difference is, I can't remember why I should care. Fine, I say, I'll work. Good. Rest now. You look like death warmed over, and that's being generous. She leaves. The lights dim. I'm alone with the quiet hum of medical equipment and the fractured mess of my own mind. I try to remember. Push through the chemical fog. Reach for memories that should be there. I get flashes. The woman's face. Dark hair. Dark eyes. Someone important. A city, seen from high above, neon bleeding into darkness. Gunfire and screaming, and the feeling of being hunted. And pain. Betrayal sharp as a blade between the ribs. Someone killed people I cared about. Someone put me in that cryo chamber, but the who and why are locked behind walls of ice and neural damage. The black chip pulses in my skull. It remembers. I can feel it. A presence in my mind that's separate from me, but also part of me. It's been awake this whole time, learning, adapting, waiting. Now it wants to show me what it knows. I push it away. Not yet. I'm not ready to see what the chip has been dreaming about for 13 years. Sleep takes me. Not the frozen sleep of cryostasis, but real sleep. Ragged and full of nightmares I can't quite remember when I wake. The 72 hours pass in a blur of medical procedures and physical therapy. My body is a wreck. Muscle atrophy from 13 years of suspended animation, neural damage from cryo-sickness, augments that haven't been maintained in over a decade. I should be dead or crippled. Instead, I'm functional. Barely. The chip is the reason. The doctors tell me it's been compensating for failing systems, rerouting neural pathways, keeping me alive through pure stubborn calculation. It's turned me into a hybrid. Part man, part machine, part something else entirely. Your reflexes are coming back faster than they should, one of the doctors tells me on day 2. Normal cryo revival takes months of physical therapy. You're walking in 48 hours. That's not natural. The chip. The chip, your prior augment suite, and what I'm guessing is 15 years of muscle memory. He studies his readouts with the expression of someone who doesn't like what he's seeing. You're held together by scar tissue and stubborn refusal to die. The question is how long that lasts. How long do I need? To work off 2 million credits in contract fees depends on the work. Could be months, could be years, could be one bad job and you're dead, making the whole question academic. I flex my hands, watching the tendons move under pale skin. The fingers respond sluggishly, like they're receiving signals through static. Everything is slightly off, slightly wrong. I'm piloting a body that doesn't quite fit anymore. When's the first contract? Eager to get started. Eager to not be in debt. He smiles without humor. Boss wants to see you tomorrow. If you can walk to her office without collapsing, she'll brief you on the job. Tomorrow comes faster than I want. I wake feeling marginally more human. A low bar, but I'll take what I can get. My body still hurts in places I didn't know could hurt, and my memories are still a fractured mess, but I can stand without my legs giving out. Progress. The woman who revived me, I still don't know her name, and I'm not sure I should ask, has an office that's more armory than workspace. Weapons line the walls, everything from antique kinetics to cutting-edge plasma systems. It's a museum of violence, carefully curated and meticulously maintained. "You look terrible," she says by way of greeting. "You should see the other guy." "The other guy is you, 13 years ago. I've seen the files. You were impressive." She gestures to a chair. I sit carefully, trying not to show how much the effort costs. Now, you're a wreck, held together by illegal technology and spite. Question is whether you're still capable of doing the work. Only one way to find out. True. She pulls up a holographic display. A face materializes in the air between us. Male, early 50s, the kind of generic corporate features that come from good genetics and better surgery. This is Richard Vance, mid-level executive with AstroTech, head of their logistics division, which is corporate speak for the department that makes problems disappear. The problems between are different. AstroTech. The name hits like a punch to the gut. Memories flicker, incomplete, painful. That's the corporation that owned me, that betrayed me, that put me on ice. I know them, I say slowly. They're the ones who put you in storage, yes. Which is why this contract is perfect for you. Client wants Vance eliminated. Clean termination, no traces back to the client, standard corporate assassination with the bonus that you get to hurt the people who hurt you. Who's the client? Not your concern. You're the weapon, not the strategist. Client points, you shoot, everyone's happy. I study the hologram. Vance looks soft, comfortable, the kind of executive who's never been closer to violence than a budget report. But mid-level AstroTech means security, augments, survival training. He won't go down easy. What's the security situation? He's careful. Travels with a two-man detail, both augmented to corporate standard. Lives in a secured apartment building in Sector 4, the nice part of town where people pay extra not to see how the other half lives. Building has automated defenses, biometric locks, the works. So not an easy target. If it was easy, we'd send someone cheaper. She kills the hologram. You're a ghost from AstroTech's past, carrying the classified technology in your skull. You know how they think, how they operate. That's your edge. My edge is 13 years out of date. Then adapt, or die trying. Either way, the debt gets cleared. She slides a data crystal across the desk. Everything we have on Vance is on there. Target location, schedule, known associates. You have 48 hours to plan and execute. After that, the contract expires and we offer it to someone else. I take the crystal. It's warm from her hand, heavy with implications. This is my life now. Contract killer for hire, working off a debt I didn't agree to, hunting people I don't know for reasons I'm not allowed to understand. But the target is AstroTech, and somewhere in my fractured memories, AstroTech is the enemy. 48 hours, I say. I'll get it done. Planning the hit takes me back to something familiar. Not memories, exactly, but process. Muscle memory of the mind. I've done this before, hundreds of times, and my brain remembers the steps even if I can't remember the specific missions. Study the target, learn their patterns, find a weakness, exploit it. Vance's schedule is predictable, which means someone in his security detail is lazy or compromised. He leaves his apartment every morning at 7, travels to AstroTech headquarters in Sector 2, works until 6, then returns home. Twice a week he stops at a private club in Sector 5, the kind that caters to executives with expensive tastes and ethical flexibility. The club is the opening. Less security, controlled environment, easier to get in and out without starting a war. I spend a day acquiring equipment. The people who own my debt are surprisingly generous with gear, probably because they want the job done and don't care if I die doing it. I get a kinetic pistol, suppressed, with thermal neutral rounds that won't trigger standard heat sensors. A monomolecular blade for close work. Basic combat skin, nothing fancy, but enough to stop small caliber rounds. It's not the loadout I would have chosen in my previous life, but my previous life had maintenance budgets and corporate armories. Now I have whatever I can beg, borrow, or steal. The night of the hit, I positioned myself outside the club 3 hours early. My body is screaming in protest. Still recovering from cryo-sickness, running on stimulants and spite. The black chip pulses steadily in my skull, feeding me data, compensating for my degraded state. It's keeping me functional, but I can feel the cost. Every minute awake is damage I'm not healing from. Vance arrives at 9:30, right on schedule. 2 security guards flank him, both scanning the street with professional paranoia. I'm across the street, in the shadows of an alley, invisible in the neon-drenched darkness. They don't see me. The club's entrance is a biometric checkpoint. Retinal scan, thermal imaging, probably weapons detection. Getting in with gear is impossible, so I don't try. Instead, I wait. 2 hours pass, my legs cramp, my vision blurs at the edges, the stimulants are wearing off, and I don't have more. I'm running on fumes and determination. At 11:40, Vance emerges. He's drunk, not staggering, but enough to slow his reflexes, make him careless. His security detail is alert, but they're expecting trouble from the front, from visible threats, not from the ghost standing in an alley they've already scanned and dismissed. I wait until they're passing my position. 20 meters, 15, 10. I move. The first guard goes down with a blade through the gap between helmet and body armor. Silent, professional. He drops, and I'm already turning toward the second guard, who's fast, augmented reflexes bringing his weapon up. I'm too slow. The cryo-sickness, the degraded augments, the 13 years of rust. I'm too slow by half a second, and that's enough to get you killed. His first round catches me in the shoulder, punching through the combat skin into flesh. Pain explodes across my chest, but the chip floods my system with chemical blockers, dampening it to manageable levels. I close the distance, get inside his firing arc, drive the blade up under his ribs. He goes down, but the sound of gunfire has alerted the club. Alarms scream. I can hear security responding. Vance is running, panicked, stumbling in his expensive shoes. I chase him down the street, every step a negotiation with a body that wants to quit. He's making for a parked vehicle, probably has emergency extraction protocols. I catch him 10 meters from the car, tackle him to the ground. We roll across pavement slick with rain and chemicals. He's fighting, augmented strength surprising for a logistics executive, landing hits that crack ribs I can't afford to break. Wait, he gasps. I can pay. Whatever you're getting, I'll double it. I put the suppressed pistol against his temple. This isn't about money. I pull the trigger. The sound is quieter than it should be, muffled by the suppressor and the rain and the neon buzz of the city. Vance stops moving. His eyes are open, surprised, like he can't believe this is how it ends. I feel nothing. Not satisfaction, not guilt, just the empty completion of a task. Behind me, security is pouring out of the club. 5, maybe 6 targets. I'm injured, exhausted, outnumbered. The smart play is to run, Instead, the black chip surges. It's not taking control, not exactly. More like it's offering options, showing me tactical solutions my fractured brain can't quite calculate. I see firing angles, cover positions, optimal movement patterns. It's feeding me combat data the way my augments used to, before 13 years on ice broke everything. I move on instinct and chip guidance. First target drops with 2 round center mass. Second target goes down with a leg shot, then a follow-up to the head. I'm not fighting clean, I'm fighting desperate, using every dirty trick I've ever learned or the chip has ever recorded. The third target gets smart, takes cover behind a vehicle. I flank, come around the side, put a round through the gap under the chassis into his ankle. He drops and I finish it. 4 and 5 rush me together, trying to overwhelm with numbers. I go low, sweep the legs of the first, use him as a shield against the second's gunfire. The suppressed pistol coughs twice and they both stop moving. Then silence. Just the rain and my ragged breathing and the distant sound of the city that never stops. I'm standing in the middle of a street in Sector 5, surrounded by bodies, bleeding from a shoulder wound that should have dropped me. The smart play is to disappear before AstroTech sends a real response team. Instead, I collapse. The cryo-sickness hits like a freight train. Delayed reaction to the combat cocktail the chip was feeding me. My body convulses, muscle seizes, vision tunneling. I'm drowning again, just like when I woke up, but this time, there's no medical team to pull me back. The black chip is screaming in my skull. Not words, just raw data, alarm signals, warnings that I'm shutting down. It's trying to keep me alive, but it's fighting a losing battle against biology and damage. The last thing I see before consciousness fades is Vance's body, sprawled on the wet pavement. Mid-level AstroTech executive. Someone's boss, someone's problem. Now someone's corpse. Mission complete. I wake up in the same medical facility, same bright lights, same sense of having failed at dying. The woman whose name I still don't know is standing over me. You're either incredibly skilled or incredibly lucky, she says. I'm not sure which. Both, I manage. My throat is raw, my shoulder is wrapped in medical foam, and my head feels like someone drove a spike through it. How long was I out? 18 hours. Your body crashed hard after the job. The doctors say you burned through a month's worth of neural resources in one fight. Whatever that chip is doing to keep you alive, it's not sustainable. Good thing I don't plan to live forever. Good thing we don't need you to do. She pulls up a holographic display. Newsfeed, corporate channels. Your hit made the morning reports. Mid-level AstroTech executive found dead in Sector 5, along with 6 security personnel. AstroTech is calling it a targeted assassination, probably corporate rivals. Which means it worked. Which means you completed your first contract. 2 million credit debt is now down to 1.8 million. Only 90 more jobs like that and you're free. I laugh, which hurts my ribs. 90 more and I'll be dead. Probably. But that's not my problem. She kills the display. Rest up. You've got another contract in 3 days. Lower profile this time. We're not trying to start a corporate war. Just steady work to burn off the debt. She leaves. I'm alone again with the beeping of medical equipment and the weight of what I've done. I killed 7 people last night. Can't remember their names, the faces already fading into the same blur of violence that fills the gaps in my memory. They were just targets, obstacles between me and debt clearance. But somewhere in the fractured mess of my past, I used to be something else, someone who chose their targets carefully, someone who had reasons beyond money. The black chip pulses, almost sympathetic. It wants to show me. Wants me to remember what I was, what I lost, Why I ended up frozen for 13 years. I let it. The memory hits like a neural spike, sharp and devastating. Not a complete picture. The cryo damage is too severe for that. But fragments, pieces, enough to understand. I see a woman. Dark hair, dark eyes, face I recognized from my earlier flashes. She's important. She's everything. Her name is right there, just out of reach, and I'm grasping for it. Lyra. Her name is Lyra, and she's dying. I'm listening through a neural link, hearing her last moments, unable to help, unable to save her. Someone is killing her while I listen. Someone from AstroTech. The memory fractures. Jumps. I'm in a different place now, fighting desperately, trying to reach someone. There's gunfire, screaming, the feeling of everything falling apart. Chen. Another name surfaces. Chen was there. Chen was my friend. Did I save him? Did he die? The memory won't tell me. Jump again. I'm strapped to a table, looking up at corporate executives who view me as failed property. They're talking about putting me on ice, about the black chip, about storage and eventual disposal. This is the betrayal. This is why I woke up hating AstroTech before I even knew why. They killed Lyra. They tried to kill me. They put me in a frozen coffin for 13 years because I was inconvenient. The memory releases me. I'm back in the medical bay, gasping, tears running down my face for reasons I can't fully articulate. The cryo-sickness has taken so much, names, faces, context, but it left me the pain. That came through crystal clear. Someone I loved died. Someone I trusted betrayed me. And I spent 13 years on ice, dreaming in fragments, while the world moved on without me. The black chip pulses. It's satisfied, like it's been waiting for me to understand this. Like this pain is fuel it can use. Maybe it is, because now I know what I'm fighting for. Not debt clearance, not survival. Revenge. AstroTech took everything from me. Put me on ice like spoiled meat. Woke up in a world that doesn't remember me, hunting targets for strangers, working off debts I never agreed to. But I remember now. Not everything. Not enough. But enough to know who the real enemy is. I close my eyes and let the exhaustion take me. But before sleep comes, I make a promise. To Lyra, wherever she is. To myself, wherever that is now. AstroTech is going to pay. Not in money, in blood. And I'm going to collect personally. 3 days later, I'm mobile again. The shoulder wound is healing, slower than it should, but the chip is compensating, rerouting resources, keeping me functional. I'm a machine held together by hate and programming, but I'm upright and that's what matters. The woman finally gives me her name, Kira. She's a fixer, the kind who operates in the gray zones between legal and lethal, facilitating contracts for clients who can't get their hands dirty. She owns my debt, which means she owns me until it's paid. The contract you completed has attracted attention, she tells me. Word is spreading that there's a skilled operator in the Undercity, taking jobs that most won't touch. You're building a reputation. I'm trying to pay off a debt. You're doing both, and that's good for business. She pulls up another holographic display. This one shows a data stream. Corporate communications, encrypted channels. But it's also attracted the wrong kind of attention. This came through AstroTech security channels 6 hours ago. I read the text. It's brief, clinical. Zyl Koban. Status change from storage to active threat. Initiate tracking protocols. Report all sightings to executive oversight. My blood goes cold. They know I'm alive. They know someone matching your profile just killed one of their mid-level executives. Whether they've confirmed it's actually you is unclear, but they're looking. How long before they find me? In the Undercity? Could be days, could be weeks. The shadows run deep here, and you know how to use them. She studies me with those cold, grey eyes. Question is, what you do with that time. Keep taking contracts and hope they don't track you down, or disappear and let the debt stand? Neither option is good, but running means staying in debt forever, always looking over my shoulder. Taking contracts means eventually AstroTech finds me and finishes what they started. What if there's a third option? I ask. Such as? I go to them. Find out why they put me on ice. Find out what this chip is and why they're scared of it. Find out who killed Lyra and make them answer for it. Kira is quiet for a long moment. That's a suicide play. AstroTech has resources you can't imagine. Security, tech, reach across 3 colonies. One operator, even a skilled one, can't touch them. Maybe not. But a ghost can. A ghost carrying that classified technology, armed with 13 years of buried secrets and nothing to lose. She almost smiles. You're crazier than I thought. I like it. So you'll help? I'll point you in the right direction. The rest is on you. She pulls up a new display, this one showing a sector map. If you want information on AstroTech, there's only one place to start. The Undercity has a resistance movement, scattered, disorganized, but still fighting. They've been hitting corporate targets for years. If anyone knows how to hurt AstroTech, it's them. Where do I find them? You don't. They find you. But if you make enough noise, do enough damage, they'll reach out. Resistance loves recruiting skilled operators, especially ones with a grudge. And the debt? Still stands. You take contracts, you pay it down. You go rogue and get yourself killed. The debt dies with you, and I'm out 2 million credits. Your choice. I look at the sector map, at the sprawling Undercity where ghosts like me disappear and sometimes never surface. 13 years on ice, waking to a world that doesn't remember me, hunting for revenge against an enemy I can barely remember. It should feel impossible. Instead, it feels like purpose. I'll take more contracts, I say, but I choose the targets. AstroTech interest only, and I keep whatever intelligence I find. Kira considers, you're expensive, but you're effective. Deal. I'll feed you AstroTech contracts. You work off the debt and get your revenge. Everyone wins. Except AstroTech. Especially AstroTech. We shake on it. Her hand is cold, professional, the grip of someone who's brokered 1,000 deals and watched half of them end in blood. I leave her office and step back into the Undercity. Neon bleeds through the smog, casting everything in shades of pink and blue and poison green. Somewhere up above, in the corporate towers, executives like Vance are making decisions that shape millions of lives. They're comfortable, secure, convinced their money and power make them untouchable. They've never met a ghost who refuses to stay buried. The black chip pulses in my skull, eager and hungry. It's been waiting for this, waiting for me to understand what I am now. Not an asset, not property, not even human, really. I'm a weapon pointed at the people who tried to discard me. And weapons don't care about impossible odds. I walk deeper into the Undercity, into the neon-soaked darkness where people like me survive on skill and spite. My body still hurts. My memories are still fractured. I'm running on borrowed time and illegal technology. But I'm moving forward, and that's more than I had when I woke up 18 days ago, drowning in cryofluid and pain. Somewhere in the towers above, in an executive suite with a view of the city I helped build, someone at AstroTech is reading reports about a mid-level logistics executive found dead in Sector 5. The connecting patterns, running probabilities, trying to determine if this is random violence or something worse. Soon, they'll know the truth. Zyl Koban is awake, and he's coming for answers. End of episode 4.